Morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan. Let's begin with the top stories this hour. Chief Ministers pitch massive grievances against the centre in the meeting of the Inter-Province Coordination Council as a task force formed to address the issues. NHRC draws attention of the government, saying culprits of heinous crimes given leeway. The government fails to nab the perpetrators in the Nirmala rape and murder case. Nepal and China to form a modality for the construction of the Kerun-Kathmandu railway within the next 4 months. And Lalitpur Patriots chalk out second consecutive victory in the Everest Premier League. Kathmandu Kings 11 crossed Chitwan Tigers by 6 wickets. Let's begin with national political updates. Chief Ministers of all the 7 provinces have expressed massive discontentment against the centre in the meeting of the Inter-Province Coordination Council that concluded yesterday. A task force led by Home Minister Ram Bahadur Thapa has also been formed to include the issues raised during the 2-day meeting held at the Prime Minister's office in Singhadarbar. The task force comprises Finance Minister Yuvraj Khatiwada, Minister for Federal Affairs Lal Babu Pandit, Chief Minister of Province 2 Lal Babu Raut and Chief Minister of Province 5 Shankar Pokhrel. The task force has been given a week's deadline to come up with a report with solutions. During the 2-day meet, Chief Ministers of all the 7 provinces complained of non-cooperation from the centre, which they said had prevented them from utilizing the constitutional rights. The Chief Ministers have requested the Prime Minister to settle the issues of revenue distribution, budget, National Natural Resources and Finance Commission at the earliest. The Chief Ministers have emphasized that without settling these issues, federalism cannot be fully implemented. Chief Minister of Province 5 Shankar Pokhrel said the issues between the centre and the provinces have been identified and solutions would be sought through the task force. The Chief Ministers of all the 7 provinces have said that due to the lack of laws and staff management, they have been rendered jobless. The National Human Rights Commission NHRC has drawn the attention of the government, saying that culprits in the cases of gross violation of human rights have been given leeway instead of being punished. The government in response said it was committed to safeguarding human rights and ending impunity. The country in the last decade saw a number of positive developments since the end of the armed insurgency. After the promulgation of the new constitution, coupled with a 2/3 majority government, it was understandable for public expectation to rise in terms of security and justice. On the contrary, serious violation of human rights, including rapes and killings, have been on the rise. In the words of NHRC itself, the government has failed to provide a sense of security to the general public, while also failing to bring the culprits of heinous crimes under legal boundaries. The government bodies have also been charged of remaining dysfunctional to end impunity in the country. The victims of the insurgency period have also been denied justice as of yet. The government has failed to take action on recommendations made by the National Human Rights Commission as well. The government is thus limited to lip service when it comes to issues of human rights in the country. And moving on, the government in recent time has started disseminating information on its decisions to the media and the public on a weekly basis. Based on the new practice, the government was committed to announcing its decision to the media and the public every Thursday. However, the list of information shared by the government spokesperson and the communication minister has been found wanting. Analysts have claimed that the government has been filtering the decisions it publishes while concealing many others. The meeting of the Council of Ministers held on 3rd of December discussed on 63 different issues raised by different ministries. However, the government has not yet made the public clear on the details of the decisions made in the meeting. In the media session held last Thursday, government spokesman and Minister for Communication Gokul Baskoda disclosed 10 decisions made by the cabinet. However, Minister Baskoda did not disclose the details on the Employee Adjustment Ordinance, which was issued by the President yesterday. Experts have claimed that the government might have concealed many other decisions as well, which is against the public's right to information. During the infamous Panchayat era, decisions made by high-ranking officials would not be disclosed until 48 hours of such meetings. Following democracy, the government had started the practice of announcing details of its decisions immediately. However, the current KP Sharma Oli-led government has broken the democratic practice, raising fears that the government is not accountable enough of its decisions. The Nirmala Pant murder case has not only been a challenge for the police, it has been a big challenge for the government as well. Even after a lapse of 5 months, the police have failed to identify the culprits of the rape and murder of Kantipur's 13-year-old Nirmala Pant, and street protests have continued. The Nepal police has claimed that it has put full efforts to the investigation of the Nirmala Pant rape and murder case. However, there has been widespread protest across the country after the failure to identify the culprits. Even the Inspector General of Police, IGP Sarvinder Khanal, had to face questioning at the Parliamentary Committee meeting yesterday. In order to inquire about the nation's peace and security, the Sustainable Development and Good Governance Committee under the National Assembly had summoned IGP Khanal yesterday. During the questioning, lawmakers asked IGP Khanal regarding the failure by the police to nab the killers of Nirmala Pant and whether the police force was acting under pressure to cover the culprits. IGP Khanal, on his part, claimed that the police has been making all possible efforts to find the culprits involved in the rape and murder of Nirmala Pant. Khanal added that he was ready to resign if found guilty of trying to protect the culprits from being identified. The police has been alleged of trying to hide the culprits in the initial phase of the Nirmala Pant murder case. The public are also curious to find out whether the case has been politically influenced. And we'll take a short break here. We have more news coming up. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. Nepal and China have agreed to form a modality for the construction of the Kantipur railway. The meeting of the high-level team of China and officials from the Physical Infrastructure Ministry has decided to finalize the modality within the next 4 months. The meeting held yesterday between the Chinese team led by the Deputy Chief of China's National Railway Administration and the Nepalese team decided to complete the technical feasibility study of the Kantipur railway and decide on the modality of in the next meeting. A preliminary study conducted by the Chinese side had concluded that the construction was possible. However, its financial modality has yet to be formulated. The Chinese team handed over the preliminary study report to Nepal yesterday. The two sides have agreed to finalize on the project's financial and technical aspects within the next 4 months. The Chinese team will visit Pokhara and Lumbini for additional studies for the railways. Preliminary studies have suggested that the railway construction would tentatively cost around 280 billion rupees. The two sides have also yet to decide on the ratio of investment from the two sides for the project. The government had declared free treatment for patients suffering from kidney-related ailments. However, patients are still having to suffer in the absence of the services placed by the government. Many patients have lost their lives as a result, while many others have been forced to sell their lands and properties. And in this context, we ask the patients, their relatives and doctors what can be done to solve this problem. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public voice.
उपचार गर्न सक्ने अब परिस्थिति पनि छैन, पैसा पनि छैन, अब यस्तै हो। काठमाडौँ जानु पर्छ रे अब निकाल्नलाई फिस्टुल हाल्नलाई।
कति बिरामी रुँदै जान्छन् यहाँबाट भन्ने कुरा हामीले नै देखिरहेको छु। मैले पनि धेरै संघर्ष गरेर पालो पाएको हो।
भेरी अञ्चल अस्पतालको सञ्चालक समितिले पनि यसको बारेमा चाहिँ व्यवस्था गर्न पाए राम्रो हुन्थ्यो भन्ने हो।
सरकारले मलाई सहयोग गरिदिएर मेरो छोरालाई बचाइदिएदेखि मलाई त्यही खुसी थियो सर। मैले केही जाने हैन, केही बुझे।
एउटा बिरामीको चाहिँ त्यो डायलाइसिस भए पनि 4-5 जनाले कुर्नु पर्ने हुन्छ हैन। त्यही चाहिँ टाइमले चाहिँ त्यो डायलाइसिसको इन्स्ट्रुमेन्टहरु युज गरेर चाहिँ सबै बिरामीहरुको चाहिँ उपचार राम्रोसँग हुन्छ भन्ने चाहिँ आशा छ।
डायलाइसिस मसिनहरु थप्दिएर प्लस हाम्रो अब मेन पावरहरु स्टाफहरु डाक्टरहरु भइदिए भए झन् सजिलो हुन्थ्यो।
यहाँ नभएर रिफर हुनुपर्छ, त्यसकारणले सकेसम्म यही नै
हाम्रो यो एरियामा भएका बिमारीहरू यो ठाउँमा चाहिँ उपचार पाए भने उनीहरूले जुन काठमाडौँ गएर खर्च गर्नुपर्ने खर्च चाहिँ अलिकति कम हुन्थ्यो।
And it's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where it texts us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, why has the government failed to instill human rights among public? Your options are A, lack of sensitivity, B, political bias, and C, weak civil society. The voting for the question is on. Type NAWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And now time for sports update.
Sports news.
Lalitpur Patriots chalked out their second consecutive victory in the Everest Premier League yesterday. Lalitpur defeated Pokhara Rhinos by 8 wickets in the second match of the day yesterday. Electing to bat first at Kantipur Stew Ground, Pokhara posted 166 runs for the loss of 4 wickets. Richard Levy and Kyle Kodja put on 97 runs for the opening partnership for Pokhara. Levy departed after scoring 84 runs of 39 balls that included 3 fours and 9 sixes. In reply, Lalitpur romped home in 15.5 overs. Gaurav Tomor and J. Kishan Kolsawala put on a 129-run partnership for the opening wicket to lay the foundation for the big win. Gaurav scored 82 runs of 41 balls, while Kolsawala's 51 runs came of 38 balls. It was Pokhara's second consecutive loss in the tournament. Meanwhile, Kathmandu Kings 11 crossed Chitwan Tigers by 6 wickets in the first match played under the Everest Premier League yesterday. Sent into bat first at Kirtipur Stew Ground, Chitwan was bowled out in 19 overs after posting 160 runs. Chitwan had got off to a rollicking start as Paul Sterling scored 34 runs of 13 balls, including 3 fours and 3 sixes. George Scott and Dipendra Singh Airi put on a 40-run partnership for the 4th wicket. Dipendra top scored for Chitwan with 45 runs. Chitwan lost the last 6 wickets for the addition of only 51 runs. In reply, Kathmandu chased the target in 18.4 overs, losing only 4 wickets. Kevin O'Brien and Sagar Poon struck 39 runs each. Some late hitting by Ananda Subramaniam, who scored 43 runs of 17 balls, ensured that it was a comfortable win at the end. Viratnagar Warriors will check on Pokhara Rhinos in the first match of the day today, followed by the match between Chitwan Tigers and Bhairava Gladiators. And before we wrap up this morning bulletin, here's a look at the top stories one more time. Chief Ministers of 7 provinces pitched massive grievances against the centre in the meeting of the Inter-Province Coordination Council as a task force formed to address the issues. NHRC draws attention of the government, saying culprits of heinous crimes been given leeway. The government fails to nab the perpetrators in the Nirmala rape and murder case. Nepal and China to form a modality for the construction of the Kheruen-Kathmandu railway within the next 4 months. And Lalitpur Patriots chalk out second consecutive victory in the Everest Premier League. Kathmandu Kings 11 crossed Chitwan Tigers by 6 wickets. And those were our latest headlines. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTVSD. Good day.